Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I will tell you 5 reasons why you shouldn't get an air fryer. So if you saw my video last week, go back and check why you should get it. But today I will tell you why maybe you shouldn't get it. So please make sure you stay tuned. I've been using the air fryer for a long time and I absolutely love it, but I also realized that it may not be suitable for everybody. So I will give you 5 reasons why maybe you shouldn't consider getting it, or you can consider getting it, but it may not be suitable for you. First one is the initial cost. There are so many air fryers around. I know that there are cheap ones and there are more expensive ones, so depending on the budget, on your budget really, because I believe that sometimes they do get really overpriced, but I also believe that we all have to pay for the quality. So if you buy anything that's cheaper, for example, I can compare my Lidl's own brand air fryer, which I got in Hungary this summer. I think it was about £100, to my Ninja air fryer, which was over £200. And when we used it in Hungary, it was absolutely sufficient, don't get me wrong, but I definitely noticed the quality difference. Obviously you can't really compare the Ninja to Lidl's own brand. Lidl's own brand is cheap and cheerful, but I also know that it's probably not gonna last me as long as my Ninja air fryer. So the first one is obviously the initial cost. If you can afford to buy an air fryer, or maybe you can't afford to buy an air fryer, so it's a bit of an investment really, but it's something obviously that we are quite fortunate to be able to afford an air fryer, but I also know that there are a lot of people out there who can't afford this. So I wanted to put this on a list, which is obviously the initial investment, initial cost. The second one on the list is some of them could be really overcomplicated. I know I put down easy use on my other video, but I also know that some of them could be overcomplicated. They got so many functions that you may not use half of them, and I think sometimes it could be quite off-putting as well, why you may not want to get an air fryer because you think it's just overwhelming. I'm never going to use half of the functions. But I think we kind of all been there. I mean, even my air fryer got different functions, and I have to tell you, I have not used all of them. So it could be quite intimidating initially, I think. And some people may think, well, actually, I don't really, it's just too complicated for me. So I wanted to put this on the list. It could be a little bit overwhelming because of all the settings and all the different things that initially, that we could do with the air fryer. Third one on the list is, I think, a very important one. And actually, when I was telling one of my colleagues about it at work, and he said, it's like, it's a good idea. My wife said, we should consider getting it. But then I got 4 kids, so it's a 6 of us in the family, and he said, well, how many batches do we have to cook in order to be able to to use the air fryer? And I thought, actually, he had a really good point. And he, I think if you have I would say it's ideal for up to a family of 4. Family of 5, I would say it may not be suitable, because I think unless you have more than 1 air fryers, or you do something like a main dish in the oven or in your pressure cooker or any other way, and then just make your side dish in the air fryer, is potential, it potentially could work out. But I think if you have a big family, it may not be suitable. I know that there are loads of different sizes of air fryers on the market, but if you get a massive air fryer, you might just want to put the stuff in the oven. So I think if you have to cook big batches, it may not be the most practical item for your kitchen. So the next one on my list is actually very relevant to me, because I still struggle with this, to get the right size of insert for my drawer for the air fryer. You know how you want to make a dish and you got a great recipe, but you need to find the right insert, the right container to go inside your air fryer. And especially with the Ninja, because it's kind of rectangular, I always think, well, I do have a couple of glass dishes and potentially could go in there. but they are just too big. So I think it could be off-putting. So I do find it a little bit frustrating when I try to like look for a container. Is it gonna fit? That's why I really like my silicone liners. But if I needed to put a glass dish in there or any kind of other dish to cook the food, I struggle because the handle might be in the way, or is sticking out, or is too long, or is too wide. So I wanted to put this on the list because I think it's a really valid point. Some people may find it, actually, I don't want to get all this extra stuff, and I don't really want to having to clean it all the time. I don't know, just to use it for just cooking certain dishes. So the last one on my list is that we can't cook everything in it. There are certain things that we just can't make in the air fryer. So it has to either go on the hob or it has to go in the pressure cooker, but it's not suitable for everything. So it's again it's an extra kitchen item that you may not use very often, or maybe things that you cook is not really suitable for air frying. But yeah, that also made it onto my list. So just to summarize it, the 5 reasons why maybe you shouldn't get an air fryer would be the initial cost. Obviously, there will be a fair bit of money that you need to spend to buy an air fryer. Some of them could be complicated, so some of the digital setting, various setting, could be overwhelming and off-putting. And size is not necessarily suitable for your family. I would say if you're a family of more than 4, that you may struggle to cook everything in your air fryer. Sometimes difficult to get the right dish for your air fryer because of the size and shape. I know that, as I said, we've got the Ninja, but there are different shapes and sizes that it may not be very easy to find something that would suit your air fryer. And the last one on the list is we can't cook everything in it. So if you don't tend to air fry too many things, or you don't really have fried things, even though this is a healthier version of frying without oil or with a little bit of oil really, then it may not be suitable for you. I do hope that you find this video useful, and thank you very much for tuning in today. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for finding me. If you're a new viewer, please don't forget to check out my previous video. As I mentioned it at the beginning of this video, the last one in this series, which is actually the first one in this series, when I tell you 5 reasons why you should get an air fryer. So I can't wait to see you in my next video. Thanks again for coming to find me and see me today. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Have a lovely day. See you next time. Goodbye for now.